Assalamu alaikum. My name is Adel Yousef, and today I'm going to explain types of bonds. First type of bonds is covalent bond. Covalent bond is the attraction force between two atoms as a result of sharing electrons. That means that atoms are sharing the electrons. Covalent bond takes place between nonmetals and nonmetals or between nonmetals and metalloids. How to recognize metals nonmetals from the electron configuration? If the valence level is 1, 2, or 3, then it's a metal. If the valence level is 4, 5, 6, or 7, it's a nonmetal. For example, we have oxygen 8. The valence level of oxygen 8 is 6 because 2 plus 4 is 6. So when it's 6, then it's a nonmetal. Second example, potassium 19 or K19 has a valence level of only 1 electron. So because it's 1, so it's a metal. These are some more examples if you can try just to solve number 1 and number 6 or number 4 on the examples. The first answer of lithium that has the total electrons 3 is it is a metal because it has only 1 electron the valence level. Second question or example, C6, it has 4 valence level electrons, which means it's a nonmetal. Octet rule. Octet rule states that atoms try to have 8 valence electrons to be like noble gases and to be very stable. As we know, noble gases are hydrogen, neon, and argon, and they are very stable. So atoms make bonds so they can be very stable. Lewis structure. Lewis structure is also called electron dot structures or electron dot diagrams. They are diagrams that shows the bonding between atoms. Now try and draw a Lewis structure for CH4. You have 15 seconds to try. Then I will show you the answer. The time ended. Now let's see the answer. The answer is like this, or we can just put a line between the C and the H because two dots means or a bond and the bond can be drawn just as a straight line. Now we finished the first type of bond, which is covalent bonds, and now we are going to explain the ionic bonds. The definition of ionic bonds is the electrostatic attraction between ions as a result of loss and gain of the electrons. The covalent bond was as the result of sharing, but now the ionic is between the loss and gain. Some information about the ionic bonding. Ionic bond takes place between metals and nonmetals. The metals always lose electrons and the nonmetals always gain electrons. Example, sodium chloride. NaCl is an ionic compound. Explain the ionic bond in it. Metal Na11, it has 3s1 at the valence level, so it loses one electron and becomes Na positive 1 because it lost one electron. The nonmetal Cl17 has the valence level of 3s2 and 3p5. When we add them, they are 3p. We have 7. So when we add one electron that Na lost it, it will have 8 valence level, and the Na will have 8 valence level, and they will make a bond, and this bond will be very stable. The third type of bonds is the metallic bond. The definition of metallic bonding is the attraction force between the positive ions and the nuclei or the sea of electrons surrounding it. As we can see in the picture, these are the positive ions and these are the sea of electrons surrounding it. There are some properties of metals. For example, they are good conductors of heat and electricity. Why are metals good conductors of heat and electricity? They are good conductors of heat and electricity because the electrons are free to move and can conduct current and heat. Second of all, they have high melting points. Third, they are malleable and ductile. They are malleable and ductile because when they are hammered, the electrons move and the force pulling the positive ions with them, causing the change in the shape. Informations about metallic bond. The electrons of the metallic bond are free to move, which means that they are mobile. Metallic bond is found in metals only. Now we will have a comparison to summarize the lesson. First, chemical bonds. Chemical bonds is the force of attraction that takes place between two atoms as a result of loss and gain or sharing electrons. Some notes: elements combine chemically to give compounds. Chemically, make sure that's chemically, not physically. Second note: elements become more stable when they make chemical bonds. Here we can say that also elements become more stable when they have 8 valence level, so they are like the noble gases. Example, NaCl. NaCl is table salt as we all know, or we can say its chemical name sodium chloride. Ionic bonds. An ionic bond is the electrostatic attraction between ions as a result of loss and gain of electrons. An ion is an atom that loses or gains an electron. So if it loses, it becomes a positive ion, and if it gains or adds one more electron, it becomes negative ion. The ionic bond takes place between metals and nonmetals, and this is a fact. A metal always loses electrons, while a nonmetal always gains electrons. Example, NaCl. Sodium is a metal, while chlorine is a nonmetal, so that makes is an ionic bond. Second type, covalent bonds. A covalent bond is the attraction force between two atoms as a result of sharing electrons. Covalent bonds can take place between nonmetals and nonmetals, so a nonmetal and a nonmetal, or between nonmetals and metalloids. Example, H2O, which is water. H is a nonmetal, or hydrogen is a nonmetal, and O is a nonmetal. So when they combine, they make a covalent bond. Metallic bonds. Metallic bond is the attraction force between the positive ions, the nuclei, and the sea of electrons surrounding it, as seen in the previous slide. Metallic bonds are found in metals only, so when a non-metal, a metal and a metal combine together. We also have properties for the metals, like they are, first of all, they are malleable, or they can be turned into sheets. Second of all, they are ductile, so they can be turned into wires, and also they have high melting point, and also they are good conductors of heat and electricity. That is a comparison between every bonds we had before in the previous slides. I hope you liked it and it was helpful. Thanks for listening. That was my video that explains the types of bonds in chemistry. Now you are going to find a link in the description of the video, and this link will have some questions that you would like to answer about the types of chemical bonds. And when you finish this link or this form, you are going to see your answers. I hope you get high marks and you understood the lesson. See you in another video. Goodbye.